Okay, and I see that, perfect. And before we start, maybe we have 1 more minute. I'm going to ask all of you if you are using any of Oracle Analytic tool. If not, it's fine. I'm launching the poll for maybe just 1 minute. And Alex, I think we are already more than 110 people, so we might want to start.
All right, let's get going. Welcome everyone to our Oracle Analytics Live for September 2021. Happy to have you all here today. We got lots of new speakers. Everyone already turned off their video, but you'll see them in a moment here. So feel free to introduce yourself and what country you're from in the chat here. If you have any questions during the webinar, please put them in the Q&A button here. We will be answering those live at the end of the webinar. All right, this is our safe harbor statement. And we have a packed agenda. We have lots of demos, lots of updates. Like I mentioned, the Q&A live session at the end, so hang tight for that. And let's get started with a product strategy update. With Ben, Senior Director of Product Strategy. Ben, I'll hand it over to you.
Perfect, thanks Alex. So today we are going to speak about Oracle Analytics. I'm going to go to the next slide and show you the Oracle Analytics platform and feature. So you can see that we have different analytic products at the top. We have Oracle Analytics Cloud, Oracle Analytics Server, Fusion Analytics Warehouse. They are all using the same features. We are using semantic model. We are using AutoML, Auto Insight, scheduled data flow. And in the next slide, we are going also to see that we integrate with a lot of different AI data services inside the Oracle Analytics Cloud. So you can see that, for example, we integrate with autonomous database, data science, machine learning, data catalog, data integration, streaming. And of course, we are leveraging everything with AI, decision, digital assistant. You will see more and more integration in the future. We are also built on Oracle Cloud Infrastructure Generation 2. It's the fastest one. You might have seen with Gartner recently, they did a benchmark and they put now Oracle Analytics in terms of speed, in terms of performance, satisfaction, ahead on some of our competitors like Google. So very interesting paper from Gartner. They posted that, I think, last week, and you can see that on LinkedIn. In the next slide, I'm going also to show you that we started a series of cheat sheets. A lot of you requested to have one page on different things like data flow. So you can see here all the functions that you can do with data flow, like data flow operation, data preparation, machine learning. We do also in data flow some database analytics. We are one of the first to do that. So if you use autonomous data warehouse or Oracle database, you can basically run time series, dynamic clustering, sampling of data, unpivoting data, dynamic, what was that? Anomaly detection, clustering, outlier, text tokenization. So all these different functions that are taking normally a lot of time, you can ask inside data flow, inside Oracle Analytics, the database to compute that for you. Same for graph analytics. I know a lot of companies starting to use graph analytics. You can ask autonomous data warehouse to run that for you instead of spending like 10 minutes in other data warehouse that we have in the market. If you use autonomous data warehouse, it's done like in few seconds. You can ingest your data, add data from multiple data sources, from Essbase, from autonomous data warehouse. You can do data preparation, analyze the sentiment, and more than that, do machine learning from Oracle Analytics. In the next cheat sheet, we are going to see also that you have all different types of data visualization. We have now more than 50 types of data visualization, more than a lot of our competitors. It's why Forrester put us leader just beside Microsoft Power BI now this year. It's huge. You can see we do network, grid, extra filter, pie and tree map, geospatial with Mapbox, Google Street View, and more, scatter plot. But more than that, in one click, you can do cluster, outlier, You can do automated aggregation, automated time series, and more. You can do conditional formatting also. Because a lot of you saw this slide recently, you all say, Ben, when do I use bar chart compared to network, compared to Pi and TreeMap? So today we have Katie from DATAcated. Katie is going to explain you a little bit more what are the best practices on when you need to use a bar chart compared to another one and where you can find resources to help you with that. So Katie is a huge influencer on LinkedIn, Twitter. Everybody knows Katie, so I hope you are going to enjoy that today. In the next slide, I will show you the latest data visualization we did. It's using the new Mapbox engine. You can see that you can zoom very, very fast. It's very smooth. If you are using the latest version of Oracle Analytics Cloud or Oracle Fusion Analytics Warehouse, you can right-click on the map, click on Upgrade if you are using previous MAP engine, and automatically you will benefit from the latest Mapbox engine. It's very fast, it's very smooth. You can compute up to, I think, 100,000 points on the map. So our competitors are not using all this capability. It's the top in the market, and I encourage you to use it. And again, if you are building amazing dashboard, send me an email. You will have this presentation after the show, and I'm happy to put you on webcam in this webinar next month or the month after if you do some good visualization. So thank you again for being an Oracle Analytics customer and leader. And I think, Alex, you can take it back from here.
All right, thanks, Ben, for that overview and the cheat sheet. Everyone is loving that. All right, so now we'll move on to an update from our analyst, Isabelle, Senior Director of Product Strategy.
Thank you, Alex. So the next slide, please. So I'm sure you've all seen the news. Oracle Analytics is named a leader in the first wave augmented BI platforms, and we are thrilled by this recognition. This clearly demonstrates customer and market validation of Oracle Analytics product strategy and vision. This is one of the strongest performance for Oracle Analytics in a BI-related first wave since 2017. We received the highest score, which is 5 out of 5 in 8 key categories across product offering, strategy, and market presence. We can see that Oracle Analytics is a clear leader in this wave. Next slide. And here's another endorsement we just got this week. Oracle is listed in the top 3 in the Constellations shortlist ahead of Qlik, SAP Tableau, and ThoughtSpot. This is adding to the great momentum this year with Oracle Analytics being recognized by leading analyst firms such as Visionary by Gartner in the Magic Quadrant MarketScape for data analytics platforms in Asia Pac. Back to you, Alex.
Thanks, Isabelle. Really exciting news there. Let's move over to an update from analytics with me. My name's Alex, product manager, product strategy. So I did want to share with you, for over 20 years, Oracle has been helping customers analyze some of the world's most important data, from mapping layers on restaurants to adapt operations for COVID, for example, to detecting money laundering and reducing business risk. We are proud to have over 400,000 customers trust Oracle to help run their business. I'm sure you're familiar with many of these companies, including Northwell Health, Lyft, Drop Tank, Riverbed, and many more. We have over 250 top leaders from around the world innovating with Oracle Analytics. They provide feedback on the product to help improve the product. All right, so for those of you not yet using Oracle Analytics, I want to give you a quick overview. It's an augmented analytics platform. It has the ability to do data preparation, data flow, data enrichment, data visualization. It's embedded with machine learning and AI. It has automated forecasts and insights. It also has natural language processing, or NLP, as well as NLG, or natural language generation. It's self-upgrading, self-patching, and self-securing, so you don't need an army of IT people. It also is available in a mobile application. Like I mentioned, the mobile app is available for users in the Google or the Apple Store. We'll move over now for analytics best practice with Kate from DATAcated. She is the founder and social media influencer, as Ben mentioned. Kate, welcome, and thank you for being here.
Awesome. Thank you guys for having me. Do you have the slides or should I share mine? Oh, there you go. All right. Thank you, everybody, for having me here. I'm going to spend the next 5-6 minutes telling you about 3 things that can really help take your data visualizations from looking good to looking great. So essentially, there are 3 things I'm going to cover. There's selecting the right chart, which Ben alluded to earlier. There's using color intentionally, and then there's reducing clutter. So if we move to the next slide, please. All right, so why do we need to select the right chart? Well, I think it can make all the difference when you're using the right chart for the specific data that you're trying to show versus when you're using just simply any chart that pops up into your default settings, or just thinking, oh, hey, I think a pie chart looks good here. So I think you need to be really strategic, starting with the question that you're trying to answer, what types of data are you using, and then what are you trying to show? So for example, if you're trying to look at time series data and you're comparing a couple of different categories across a period of time, maybe a multiple line chart is the right way to go. Or if you're trying to look at different parts to a whole in a hierarchical manner, a tree map could be a good option. So this is sort of a dedicated chart selector guide that gives you a head start in terms of, it might be a little bit too fine print here, but I can share the actual slide with those that are interested, where you actually read the little description and it tells you what these charts are best for. Now, the next thing I'll cover here is using color intentionally. So if we can move to the next slide, please. All right. Now, I could probably spend a day talking about the proper use of color. I'm actually writing a book right now called Color-Wise. It's all about color for data storytelling, but I'll leave you with a couple of tips here in terms of using color intentionally for your data visualizations and dashboards. At times, it's very easy to just accept the default settings, just like with the charts. But I think taking a short step back and really assessing, why am I using this red and green, or why am I using this black color or bright red color in my visualizations or any presentations, really. So a few things to remember here. Color has to be used intentionally. It needs to really guide the viewer and highlight any specific key patterns or insights that you want to highlight. Anything that's supporting, so anything that's sort of background or grid lines or things like that, should be muted or light gray. You need to consider that your visualizations might be printed or viewed in black and white. So keep that in mind and try to see what is it going to look like without color, if that happens to be the case. Making sure you keep those with color blindness in your mind when you're designing your visualizations, because at times what looks great to you might not look the same to somebody who might not see the differences between red and green, which is more common than you would think, especially in males. Being intentional with your color scheme, at times you have to keep it within brands, so keeping those things in mind. Try to avoid using more than 5 colors. 5 is sort of an arbitrary number here, but if you see yourself using 10 different colors in a chart, again, take a step back and think maybe there's a different way to show this. Maybe you can filter some of that unnecessary data, or potentially if it's just supporting data, you can color it light gray so it's not distracting. And then last but not least, using a consistent color when you're talking about that same variable. So if you're talking about region A in a bar chart here, and again, mentioning region A in a scatter plot, making sure that you're using that same color for region A across your dashboard to keep your audience, basically makes it easier for them to follow. All right, and then let's talk about reducing clutter. So on this next slide here, this is a terrible, terrible chart. This is what not to do ever. That's why it has the big word before on top of it. I basically tried to break every data visualization best practice rule that I knew, to present you with this before example, really to highlight the differences that we can make by reducing clutter around the visualizations. So you'll see a couple of things that are probably attacking your vision right now. We have a scroll bar that's really unnecessary there. We have a color legend that kind of makes no sense. Our use of font type is pretty bad. Use of color is really bad. the grid lines are very prominent where they should be either removed or muted. And then there's this weird kind of light beige background color that really doesn't do much for us as well. And the titles, the sizes of the titles are sort of off, where the main title is too small. Now there are steps you can take to clean up this visualization and really reduce that clutter, take some time, clean it up, and then let's go to our after slide here. Okay, so this, I believe, looks much better. We're using the same data here. We're using the same even type of chart in this example, but the proper use of color, the proper use of just visually appealing best practices, like removing those grid lines, really helps you tell that story. So for example, here, if we were to read that subtitle where it says consumer product service categories that increased in price by over 50%, you'll notice that that is colored orange, and immediately your eyes should be drawn to those 3 orange bars that really help you answer a question of, which consumer services and products have increased by over 50%. And then similarly with the blue bars that decreased in price by over 50%. And then sort of those gray in the middle are not as important to the context of this story. So we sort of mute them and color them gray. So I hope you guys have gotten some good tips out of this 5-minute presentation on visual best practices. So again, Oracle, thank you for having me here.
Thank you. And Katie, I wanted to say also that everyone can follow you on LinkedIn. So I'm putting the link inside the chat. And also, Katie, maybe you want to take 1 more minute to speak about your conference. I think you have something coming next month, right?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Ben. Yes, we've got the DATAcated Expo, a free online event coming up on October 5th. You can check it out. It's datacated.com/expo. It's essentially a 1-day session where we're going to walk through the data analytics process. We have over 20 speakers who are going to deliver 10-minute segments, lots of fun giveaways and raffles. So definitely encouraging you guys to go and sign up for that.
Thank you, Kate. And back to you, Alex.
Thanks, Kate. Yes, everyone, please be sure to visit her website, DATAcated. Follow her on LinkedIn and Twitter. All right, so now we're going to have an analytics platform update with Barry, Senior Director of Product Marketing.
Yeah, hi. So Barry Mostert. I'm just going to go through quickly here a little bit of the integration, and then I'll show you some product live, actually. Now, one thing with Oracle Analytics, we just want to beat the misconception that Oracle Analytics is for Oracle backends, Oracle apps, and so forth. We have over 30+ native connectors built into the product, and you can see some of them here on the left. It's including Azure Synapse and Redshift and Spark, Salesforce, as well as a JDBC driver to bring in any other kind of data source that you don't have there. So we really don't want to leave any data behind. Bring in all relevant data into your analysis. And we do have, with OCI, the Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, the ability to bring in some integration layer because we do have all these extra services. So if you needed to be able to bring in through those things through integration, we can bring that data in using Oracle Data Integrator or something real time with Golden Gate. And with the autonomous data warehouse in the data management layer, you really are completing out your data management and analytics structure because you do need some way to put data in a form that the business can use. And in the autonomous data warehouse, you don't need any additional DBAs or administration. You could literally give this to the business to run, and you can spin up a finance data mart without any knowledge about SQL or data marts or anything like that, populate it, and then have your finance data come out so you can analyze it anytime you like. And if you wanted to change the way the data was set or create calculated values, you can easily do that. And then consume that information via the browser or the mobile. And really, we have the ability to let the consumption layer be for anybody, every role. We are not just a Tableau, which is great for analysts, or a Looker, which is great for developers. You don't want to have multiple tools to satisfy the needs of each of these different types. We are good. Oracle Analytics provides interfaces for developers, for the executives, and for analysts, and even for data scientists. So we don't leave anything behind. We make sure that everybody has the ability to do this. Less complexity, less cost. All right, so next I'm going to start to show you some of the examples in this. So I'm going to take over, Alex, and I'll present my screen. And what I'm going to do is just show you some quick live introduction into the Oracle Analytics Cloud. And while dashboards are great, but you might have a question you want to answer, and you're not always do you know where the report is, or if you don't want to have to go and build a report for every single question you come up with. So with this natural language query, I can literally just start typing. I want to see revenue and discount by, let's say, product segment and a product, I should say product type and customer. You can see this is live and customer segment. And once you have that, I'll just say, tell me what you got. And it'll search the relevant data sources, and it actually is automatically creating my dashboard for me. And I might be able to answer my question right now. What is this cluster over here that's interesting to me? Here's a trend. Obviously, this pattern is going, there's some sort of correlation between discount and revenue. And in these products up here, a high discount, but they're generating good revenue. So I've answered my question. So here, this is a new kind of modern interface when we start to think about how AI starts to contribute. Next, I would say we do these traditional kind of dashboards. This is the Redwood look and feel from the new release. We do have various different styles and things, but I'm not going to show you how to create a pie chart. I mean, that's all in there. Instead, I'm going to show you a few more interesting kind of things. Here's another dashboard that we created just so you can have an idea that we have the ability, just like Excel with canvases, to create multiple sheets so you can switch within your project from one to the other. And you can customize these. You can choose some nice, awful purple colors if you really want. You can do what you like. But the fact is the customization is there. My suggestion is you should follow what Kate was just talking about and actually build these to some kind of more useful standards, some random colors. But what's great here is you can create tiles. Here I have interactivity. So if I wanted to examine what's in this cluster on the outliers out here, I can see on this chart, which is contributing to those. So all of these are integrated, no code to do that. It's done automatically. Here's another one, just to look a little bit more in depth. I can just hide this over here, get a little more screen real estate. This tree map really starts to help you understand the difference between the prices of the different foods being consumed within the World Food Program in India. And here we can see rice on the left, sugar in the middle, and wheat on the right. And you can see that sugar, which is highly consumed, is actually quite dark, showing that it is one of the more expensive but used things. And you can see that very quickly visually versus wheat, which is kind of light and sparse. We also have maps integrated. And over here in this little piece here with this gray extension, this is actual machine learning. Now we call it one-click analytics because here a business user that doesn't understand how to code or Python or any of those things can right-click and say, give me a forecast, and bang, you're going to have that forecast. And that's how you get clickers to be able to start driving into the world of machine learning. Now, this one I was laughing because this is going to be one that Kate will love. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. This is more of a demo to say if you really want to customize it with a purple thing like Gabby built this one. You want to have a purple dashboard. You can have these, and then any of these elements are actually able to be embedded into your website. So if you do have a purple and white website, you could easily take any of these sort of objects and then embed them so it looks like it's part of it. But like I said, just because you can't, like 3D charts, just because you can, doesn't mean you should. Next one along, I just want to show some interactivity here between these different objects. And here we have a graphic, which is actually also going to act as a filter. So if I choose, I can actually select some of these containers and I can see how they've been shipped. And over here is an integrated network or graph diagram that will actually show the routing for these containers. So I'm just going to select those 2 rows here in the middle and then see where they're going to be hitting from. So now I can see that here on the right is the manifest, how much each of these is costing and where they're coming from and where they're headed to. And if I want, I can actually do a little reverse here and say, well, let me see all the containers on the ship that are somehow connected to China. And here now we can see in the network chart, which I can expand if you really want, but I can hover over, drag these out, and I can see there's a few different routes inside this diagram, all connected into China, plus the costs and the manifest and so forth, all integrated. Here's another I was going to show, which is really related to a supermarket floor. And this is using the Mapbox graphics, which we talked about a little earlier. And as you can see, as I scroll in, it's super smooth. Zoom is not going to do it justice because Zoom won't be able to keep up as well as I'd like. Just know that it is smooth and you can play with this exact example on our service if you choose. What's great here is you can see on the supermarket floor, this is the foot traffic going through at various times of the day. So if I click on this bar, I can see the amount of traffic that was 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. I can see that the cafeteria area was kind of busy. And if I move on to 9 to noon, I can start to see the dispersal is a little bit more even. There's a little congestion over here in the front near the end aisles of the groceries. And this helps you understand, you know, if that area is busy, maybe you want to put slow moving products in that area to help get customers to pick them up as an impulse buy. This helps you understand where to lay things out on your shop floor and to do it with analytics rather than sort of gut feel of what might be doing better in other places. Of course, around lunchtime, the cafeteria starts to get busy. Now, what's good about doing this kind of analytics, you know, if you were thinking of the pandemic and social distancing, I can really identify the red areas where we should be thinking of rearranging the store so that we can reduce that social distancing problem. Next one here, I wanted to show you another thing about natural language generation. So I'm going to take a little one here. This particular chart I'm going to delete. And what I'm going to say is we all know how to make pie charts and line charts and so forth. But what I want to do is really everybody creates a report and then you have to take that report and then type out a narrative about it. Well, what I can do instead is say, let me just duplicate that visualization. I can say, let's change the chart type. And in these different chart types, which are now in context of this data, I can see, so we can only show you charts that are going to render properly. We take out the options that aren't going to fit. So hopefully that helps pick the right chart. And down here, we have language narrative. And if I select that, it automatically switches to my narrative, which I can then just move over to the right-hand side. And now I have a good sort of narrative to understand what's happening. Now, the good way of doing it like this is that as the data changes, your narrative will update as well. And if I wanted it in French, I can come down here and say, I have English and French set up. I can just click French and it will translate it for me just like that. I can control the verbosity of that. So my detail level is at 7. I can bring it down a couple of notches. Maybe that's all you need. I can change from a trend to a breakdown. So you get different types of descriptions. Now I bring my verbosity back up. And here you've got some real control about how that happens, but it's all built in. I don't need additional plugins. I don't need to go to a partner. I don't have an integration project. It's here. Next one along, you know, you can also create, we have a great ability to format as I've been talking about. So here we have actually some sort of infographic on wine. And you can see that these are charts that have been created just like you would any other charts in the dashboards I've been showing previously. But the cool thing with what this is going to do, at this point, I can say, look, I want to export this as a file. And I'm going to say, well, not a PowerPoint, I want a PDF. And if I do that, and I've got this done already, I'll give you a show. It looks like this. And here's the export. Now we're showing in Adobe. I have my infographic created. What's cool is that because you did this back in OAC, when your data changes, it's very easy to go back to that OAC project, update the information, export it again, and then your infographic is automatically updated. You don't need to go back into InDesign and change things and manipulate little graphics dependent on some designer and special software. You can start to create infographics pretty quickly and easy right here in OAC. And that's about all I'm going to talk about today. It's all I got time for. The last things I wanted to show you is here. I'm going to put this link also into the chat. But if you have time, go and see more information that I've been talking about. You can look at it in this Capabilities Explorer, which is kind of our new idea of data sheets, how to deploy and administer and various capabilities around that between OAS, the whole Oracle Analytics platform. And say you're a user, you want to jump straight to how do I prepare and enrich my information, you know, jumping to Excel is not really secure. So here's a way to do data flows, which helps with enrichment and that kind of thing right here. So that's going to go into the links. And also, if you want to see more, we have the product tours, which is on our website, another kind of slide interface, but it helps you see different areas with these MP4 vignettes straight built in. You can slide through those, jump through the graphics, and have a look at some videos. So that's it. I'll hand it back to you, Alex. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Barry, for that great overview. Let me get my screen shared out here. All right, can everyone see this? Perfect. Let's move on to a product management update and demo with Gabby, Vice President of Product Management.
Thank you, Alex, and I'll grab the screen share from you as well. What I wanted to briefly talk about today is really some, go over some of our area of investments when we are, as we are building the product. As many of you know, and you heard Barry talked about it as well, AI and ML is an area that we continue to invest heavily. It comes in basically two forms. One is the ability to integrate with various ML and AI services that you might have. If you have data scientists in your organization creating models or that you want to consume to your analytic experience or different type of assets, we are able to integrate in that, and we are improving our capabilities in that space. In addition, we integrate ML in many things that we do within the product to improve the overall experience for our users and customers, because the opportunity that utilizing ML gives us is the ability to shorten the path to discovery. Because what's unique about analytics tools is that people don't really want to spend a lot of time doing analytics. When they come into an analytic product, they have a question in mind or a business problem that they are trying to explore. If we can get to that insight, the right insight that allows you to go and perform the business action that you want to take, and if you can do that in 5 minutes versus 5 hours, it's the better product. And the way to achieve it, we achieve it by integrating machine learning as part of the experience to really highlight insight, assist with data preparation, and other things. Data preparation is a key task within analytics. Many of our customers spend most of the time preparing data and modeling data for analysis. This is an area that we have improving our capabilities, both by introducing machine learning into the process itself, but also with more advanced tools and capabilities. In addition to just connect to multiple sources, exactly as Barry has shown in his demo. Going beyond dashboards, if it's infographics or other means of consumption of information, which is not just visual dashboards, are very important. We recently introduced our new mobile applications, and what we have done there is we added the ability for the user to ask the system to generate a podcast out of the dashboard to tell them what's new and so on. So as you're driving your car, you don't need to look at your phone. You can just listen to what goes on in the business. So those type of ways to consume analytics, which are not just bar charts and pie charts, are very important. And we believe that they are a key part of the futures of our customers. Both the developer and user experience get special attention. Developer experience to be able to provide all the tools for developers to use our analytic platforms, either as embedded in other applications or even extend the capabilities that we offer with your own custom visualizations and other tools. On the user experience side, we have made vast investment in the last several years by introducing the Redwood platform. Many of the things that Kate talks about, you will see that in Redwood, the use of colors, picking the right colors. Of course, accessibility when it comes to an experience is a key topic for us. And lastly, we want to be an open analytic platform, and we are an open analytic platform. We appreciate the fact that within large organizations, there might be a variety of ways that you want to consume analytics. Some of them would be to our tools, others might be to different tools, or maybe homegrown capabilities. But at the end of the day, you want all your users to be able to sit on the same analytic platform. So if someone is looking at a KPI in an Oracle Analytic dashboard, or within our mobile applications, or to a chatbot, or even if they have a different tools to visualize data and they are looking at the same metric, everybody can see the same data. So for that, we are not just enabling connectivity to any source that you might have, but we also allow different tools to connect to our platform and access the data that you will curate and model within the platform. Specifically drilling down into some of the feature highlights that we are going to introduce in the next several months. First, machine learning powered insights. We have today several capabilities that can generate by request insights for the user to tell him what's going on with specific elements within the data set. We are extending that capability with a new option to automatically generate insight based on any data set that you bring in. Performance analyzer. In many cases, in analytics, you're going after a lot of different sources. And with our federation capabilities, you can even construct a single visualization coming from multiple sources. It might be big data combined with a file that you upload, a remote database, and a SaaS application, all in a single visualization. Sometimes understanding what's the performance profile of things, it might be a bit hard. So we are introducing a performance analyzer to tell you not just what the performance of OSC, but also what the performance of the backend system that provided the data to Oracle Analytics. More capabilities around customization of dashboard filters. We are to be able to create very advanced dashboards, or more advanced dashboards than what you can do today. We are introducing a new semantic modeler. The semantic model is a very important capability within Oracle Analytics, and we are continuing to invest that. And we are basically introducing a next generation semantic modeler, which will be focused on team development to allow large team to co-develop semantic models together. Integration with AI services that OCI introduced around vision, language, and other type of services. Again, more around the multi-table data sets, the ability to self-service for self-service users to create their own personal data models from a variety of sources. And of course, introducing a lot of new advanced visualizations, as you have seen some of those in Barry's presentation. With that, I'll focus on a single demo, which is going to be actually the first topic that I talked about, is the ML-powered insights. Barry was brave enough to show you a live demo. I'm going to try and up that and show you a live demo based on a feature that is not yet released. So this is not a GA version in any way, but so hopefully everything will go well. I'll start by just looking for the data sets that I'm going to use, and I'm going to open a new project with the data set. What you see on the top is that we have a new icon that is currently lit up, which is the Auto Insights. And what it does is for any data set that I have, it will generate a list of insights that we discovered. And what we are actually doing on the back end, we are processing the entire data set to look for interesting patterns. And interesting patterns might be behaviors that are changing, trends which are not really flat, which are going either up or down. And what we'll do, we'll generate a large set of insights based on what you're identifying. And you can see from the visualization, each one of them have something. This is going up, this one has an outlier, and there is also a key explanation as to what you see here and why it was selected. So every insight that we show you, as you scroll back, it will have a key explanation of what are we actually showing and why we believe this insight is interesting for you. Now, these insights are not just for viewing. You can start constructing. This is my canvas where I would construct my dashboard or my exploration, and I can basically just either click on the plus button, or if I want, if I prefer to organize it myself, and I can drag and drop into my canvas any insights that I might see relevant. And in that sense, I can just continue on to add more and more visualization. When I'm done, I can just turn off the insight panel. All the context of what is this visualization remains, because I can always look at the tooltip for the visualization, and it will still tell me what's the story behind that visualization. And all of that is created automatically. Any data set that you will bring over from any source, you will be able to discover insights for you to help you identify things which might be interesting or important within your data set. With that, I'll move it back to Alex. Alex, take it away.
Thanks, Gabby. That was some great insights. Let me just get my screen shared out here. All right, let's keep moving forward with a financial demo with Khanh, Senior Financial Controller.
Thank you, Alex. Good morning, everyone. My name is Khanh Tran. I'm a Senior Financial Controller within the Global Controller Organizations, known as GCO. I have been with Oracle for more than 8 years now. Over the last 2.5 years, I have had the incredible opportunity to lead the implementations of Oracle Analytics for GCO. Before I start with my demo, I would like to share our success story by implementing Oracle Analytics. We have gained more business insight, improved efficiency, clarity, and collaboration with the implementations. Enable our leadership to have faster decisions making. In addition, along with other Oracle ERP and EPM tools, Oracle Analytics has helped us reduce one-day close compared to prior years and has contributed significantly to the efficiencies of the one-day close journey. Having said that, now I would like to give you a quick 2 demos related to cash flow and tax dashboards by using Oracle Analytics. These are just among of many other analytics and dashboards that we have in use for within our organizations. I'm going to have to share my screen. Thank you. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes.
So this is one of the dashboard we call cash flow dashboards, right? As a controller, understand cash flow activities is very important because it helps us to determine the company's working capital. Right? With Oracle Analytics visualizations, we have analyzed and visualized cash flow differently from the traditional cash flow statement with the traditional pivot and tables. Sometimes it can the data can be lost in the pivot and tables. It helps us to quickly identify how the cash was used for or provided. And this chart used in this dashboard is called waterfall. So as you can see quickly here with the different activities showing 2 different periods. And then during the presentations, we can quickly highlight off the note that if there is any significant events or any activities that our senior management would want to view without compromising any presentations. So in the moving on to the second demo, I would like to focus on one of the text analysis with the following features. First, I would like to highlight the list box features that we have in Oracle Analytics. It gives us an ability to choose which state you need to analyze the cell text. The VIX is useful when you have a massive data and it gets confusing. So if you want to throw in and focus only a few states at a time, so you can do that by using the text box, and it's automatically to change your visuals in the chart here. Secondly, if you look at the chart where the shading area is, this is another array features Oracle Analytics have provided that can help us to do predictions, forecasts from the next month or next year. And of course, you only can choose different model to do your forecast or add different factors to do forecast as well. Array features in Oracle Analytics that help our lives much easier. The next features that are the next visualizations I want to highlight here. This is the variable ROM, which is good to analyze different scenarios. Example, I want to see how tax payment would be when the tax rate changed, but the revenue and my revenue and invoice have not changed. So for example, if I want to say that if my tax changed to 10%, what could it be? How much sales tax that we have to pay? So it's automatically changed in the visuals instantly without have to go back to Excel or manual calculations. The last features I want to highlight in this canvas is the conditional formatting, where we have a choice to choose what we need to highlight and what we call out any outlier, so it can shift our focus onto the data that we need to analyze or need to talk about or discuss during the presentation or during your analytics with the team. So great features to add on in version 6.2. The next canvas or next canvas very much is just show you how the word map that has utilized in the Oracle Analytics. There's a different map box VIX that we can use and show present in different states around the world. There are many other maps you can choose from as well. And it's just easily to change instantly through the map here. Okay, let me see what my map would be. And then that is can use and zoom in, zoom out with the map very quick and easy to view. And if you don't know some country where it's located in around the world, with the map is actually help your chart metric. Okay. So in conclusions, I would like to say, regardless of what functions of what department, sales, marketing, human resource, finance, IT that you are in, you still need to have a proper tool for analytics and reporting. And Oracle Analytics will help you strive, analyze, improve efficiency and clarity, provide a depth insight story, enable faster decision-making. So thank you to the product teams for making such an excellent product for us to use and allow us to find the needle of the financial haystack that we haven't been able to do in the past. Thank you for viewing my demos.
Thanks, Khanh. Great demo. Love to have you here today. Let me share out my screen and we'll move to the next presenter. Healthcare demo with Nada from Egypt, Senior Solution Engineer. Nada, welcome and congrats on the new baby.
Thank you, Alex, for that. Thank you so much. So let me jump start and share my screen. Right. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening to wherever you are from the world. My name is Nada Maguid, based out of sunny Egypt, and let me just jump right in. So what I'm going to be doing is
we cannot see your webcam, just to let you know, and it's okay.
Oh. No, okay, yeah. So it was
perfect.
Sorry about that. Yeah. So what I'm going to be sharing today is a healthcare demo, right? So it has a few dashboards. First off, we're going to be going through a hospital operations sort of overview. So starting off from the very far left, we have some main, KPIs showing, total patients, total number of patients that have been admitted to the hospital, and ER time in number of hours. And these are tiles, right? And you see this cool feature where we can add the time metric to the tile, and it shows you the distribution over time of that particular KPI. And then moving on to the right on the top, we're looking at predicted costs as well as number of patients over time, as well as the predicted waiting times in terms of the ER, right? So we can see the current values that we've gotten so far, as well as the add-on predictions that were covered by Barry through the demo. And we also have the cool feature of the narrative that explains the predicted waiting times at the bottom right here with the overall trends and a breakdown as well. We can also see the total number of patients by category in the tree map, and we can use this as a filter to control the content of the dashboard. So for example, if we select ER, we're going to focus on the entire content for the ER with the total number of patients changing, as well as the predicted times and the costs as well. And you notice that we have these global filters at the top that we can also use to control the content of the dashboard, aside from the tree map that we have right here. Moving on, so we focus more with the hospital operation in terms of the traffic, right? So this type of data we can get from maybe cameras that we have installed within the hospital. And we can see we're making use of the image background maps right here. And we have the foot traffic within 3 main intervals of the day, morning, afternoon, and night. And we're using this as a filter as well for the content of the dashboard. So if we examine a bit more, if we select maybe the morning time frame, we notice that most people are coming into the outpatient section and the pharmacy section right here. And there's some flow in the main entrance as well. And then if we move on to the afternoon, we notice the flow kind of shifting more in the ER section and the orthopedics. So that means maybe there are a lot of people with registrations, right, for the orthopedics. And then if we move on to night, we notice that the flow is kind of more focused in the ER section. And something like this can help us maybe navigate into if we need more staff in particular times of the day in specific areas of the hospital to accommodate that influx, and taking this into consideration, especially with the pandemic situation that we're in, right? And then moving on to the third dashboard with a sort of a patient 360 view. So in this scenario, we have patients being addressed by physicians really quickly to kind of speed everything up with the situation that we have with the pandemic. So having a global view on the patient's history kind of fast tracks that as well. So we have some main information like the name, age, gender, nationality, things that can contribute to a medical prescription, and also more specific items like if this patient has been identified as COVID positive, and if that patient is at risk of being, COVID positive. And we have this global filter that helps us kind of identify which patient that we're on with the ID that they would get when admitted to that hospital. And then we get to see that global view. And also, I don't know if you've noticed or not, but I am wearing colors that are matching with the Redwood theme, just to celebrate the Redwood theme there as well. So with that, I hand it over back to you, Alex.
Love the Redwood colors, Nada. Thanks for joining us today. And let's move on. We're going to have a movie demo, visualization demo with Jamie, Principal Product Manager. Jamie, welcome.
Hey, thanks, Alex. I will share my screen. So I will go ahead and say as a disclaimer, my movie demo is on James Bond movies, but I have probably only seen 2 of them. So as I share this, I will show my ignorance in some of the movies. Let's see if I can get this up and running. All right, here we go. So I recently created a data viz of James Bond trivia based off of a data set that was online. So let me move my screen just real quick. There we go. Okay, so what I have here is I have the various James Bond actors throughout the years, as well as their names. I also have the rate of return by the movies in a butterfly chart. And, it's really hard to follow up to Kate's presentation because you're thinking, oh no, did I do anything wrong? But I think overall, we have the colors here. We have the colors assigned by actors. So if I want to say, what did Sean Connery do? We can see that as it loads, we have the various movies that he acted in as James Bond. You can also see the total number of Bond girls pursued, the various number of martinis he's consumed without his throughout the years and his movies, and also the different cars that he has driven in the movies. We can also further drill down. Maybe I just want to see what about Dr. No what was that within, what are the different things within Dr. No that he did. So let's see, he had 2 martinis, pursued 3 Bond girls, drove a sunbeam, and we can also navigate back out to different movies and then also to different actors as well throughout the visualization. So we have a radar bar graph here as well, and also the average movie rating based off of the different database, either Rotten Tomatoes or IMDb. So with that, I will pass it back to Alex. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and thanks for attending today.
Such a fun demo there, Jamie. Thanks for sharing that with us. I don't know who else is excited about the new movie coming out. I've been waiting for a while, so I'm pretty excited to see Daniel Craig's last movie. All right, before we leave you here, before we jump over to the Q&A, I want to run some polls. Let's move on. We do have our Gartner Peer Insight. What is it? It's an easy 5-minute, fully anonymous review. I'm going to launch the poll here. If you are an Oracle Analytic user, would you be willing to provide a product review? Again, it's 5 minutes, fully anonymous. We are a leader with Forrester. We'd love your feedback to become a leader with Gartner as well. It's providing insights to make the product better. We love your voice. Your review is valued, and we'd love to hear from you. So let us know. If you answer yes, I'll be reaching out with an email with some instructions on how to log into Gartner.
And I will just add that it's for customer only, okay? No partner are required. Next year, we might have some goodies. I'm not going to tell you which one, but if you put some reviews, maybe we will contact you next year. Oh, and by the way, next week, I think it's the Red Bull Formula One race in Russia. And I invite you to follow Red Bull, okay, because we partner with them and it's always something good to watch. So thank you in advance if you can do a Gartner review. I know that every time we have some people say they can do it, it's just taking 5 minutes. I think last month we got 15 reviews, which was really great from all of you. So if you can take just 5 minutes of your time, it's helping us a lot. So thank you so much.
All right, I'm going to end this poll. Thank you all. And we'll move forward. Ooh. And while we move on to the Q&A, I'm just going to launch one last poll. Let us know what you think of the webinar on a scale from 1 to 10. How likely are you to recommend this event to a friend or colleague? We'll leave this poll up for a couple of minutes and we'll move on. We'll get started with the Q&A session. So Ben, I'll hand it over to you for that.
Perfect.
Oh, and if we want to, all our speakers, if you want to put your video on, that'd be great.
Yeah, everyone should be there. So let's go and let's do that. Okay, I'm the first one. And I hope we still have Gabby because I think we have some technical questions. Let's see. Okay, perfect. Okay, so let's start with a Q&A. I see we have 16 questions. So I'm going to put them on my screen here. And we are going to start. We have a question from Jose Curian. Where can we find the slides? So hi, Jose. We are going to have a follow-up email tomorrow from Zoom. So this follow-up email will say thank you for attending the Zoom meeting. And in this email, you will have a video of the webinar, you will have a slide, but also we have a YouTube channel that you can join. It's Oracle Analytics on YouTube, where we put the webinar, and also Barry is going to put the link on the YouTube channel. And I think, Barry, we have also an official page, right, of Oracle Analytics on LinkedIn?
Yes, we have an Oracle Analytics showcase page. I'll put that in there. In fact, you should follow the showcase page, and that way you're going to get the latest updates, news about events, and so forth.
Perfect. We have another question now. We have more questions. From Ravi. Hi, Ravi, nice to have you today. Is there a way to make custom color palette default across the OAC instance? Gabby, do you want to take that one?
Yeah, so it is possible for mainly for this classic content. For the self-service content currently, it's not there yet, but it's something that is being worked on.
Perfect. We have another question from Mail G. Senan. Hi, Mile, nice to have you. One of our top person on Twitter, it's Mile, so be sure to follow him. How to extract data source from web services or SaaS application that are not currently supported by OAC adapter. I think we can do that with JDBC or API, but maybe Gabby, you want to take that one?
Yeah, so today there are tools within Oracle that can extract data from API-based system, but we are also introducing a self-service REST connector in OSC, which will show up during the next few months.
Perfect. We had a question from Moshin Atikdar. I think it was either during the demo of Khanh or the demo of Nada. So maybe Nada, you can reply to that one. Is your demo available publicly somewhere?
I don't think it is at the current time, but we'll definitely check to see if it's possible to make that happen. So yeah.
Perfect, thank you. And we have another question from Pat Shah. Can we have a call like this, but specifically for FAW? And I think, Jamie, you might want to take that one.
I had to unmute there. So regarding sessions that are related to FAW like this, we do have an FAW call. I will get your name on the after this call to see if we can invite you. It's not necessarily Oracle Analytics Live, but it is a leaders call that we have.
Perfect. And I think next month or the month after, we will double down on FAW. We didn't do a demo this month because we put James Bond. I think it was worth it. But maybe the month after or the month after that one, we will have Jamie doing a longer demo on the roadmap and also on FAW for HCM, ERP, and SCM. So we have another question from Ashok Muduli. Can we got this DVA file as well? DVA is the format of our demo and project. I have a specific GitHub where I put my demo, but I think, Barry, you are working maybe on a page where we can expose some of all this demo and it will be available on oracle.com, correct, Barry?
Yeah, that is right. So we're busy updating all of the web pages around Oracle Analytics right now. If you go to Oracle Analytics/Business Analytics, you'll start to see some of these changes and the new library and examples pages with all the different plugins for the visualizations. Remember, Oracle Analytics, if you don't have a particular visualization built in, you can bring it in with D3. And this library and examples is going to have tons of that. So keep an eye on the website, and we'll definitely be making announcements when they come out on our social platforms. So again, another good reason to follow us on LinkedIn, and you'll get to see all that stuff come live.
Perfect. We have a question from Sid Goel. Is there any chance of including data modeler in OAS? As of now, it's accepting only RPD as a model. So maybe, Gabby, you want to take that one?
So everything that we have shown, including multi-table data sets, which you might be referring to, will come into the next release of OAS. As we promised in the past, OAS, in addition to quarterly patches, have an annual release that have all the cumulative features that we brought to OSC throughout the year. So we are usually scheduling that for Q1, calendar Q1 of the calendar year. And we plan to do the same, but we haven't yet published a specific date for that. But again, everything that came after 5.9 that doesn't have any cloud dependency will come in the next OAS update next year.
Perfect. I see we have another question from Santiago. I think we already answered it, but maybe Alex, you can say it. Can we see the recording of the session?
Yeah, the recording of the session is going to be up on our YouTube page. So give us a couple days there to get it up, but it will be up there. So please feel free to share it with colleagues and friends.
And the link to the YouTube channel is in the comments right now. So if you go into that section, you can grab that link.
Super. So we have, that one is, we have Shravan Kumar, great presentation today, blown away. Are there write back features in this tool? And that maybe, Gabby, you want to take that one.
So we don't have specific visualization that do write backs, but those will mainly do, will maybe be done through extensions that you can add, because the server does have an ability to write back to some of the sources. Of course, data flows can write back into source tables of that databases, so it really depends on the use case. But you can do it through extensions or through data flows today.
Okay, we have a question from Ankit Gupta. There is no clarity if we should use subject area or data flow, I guess, prepare in DV when building cross-functional report. For example, look at purchase order to sales orders to P&L. I will say that, and I will answer it, and maybe Gabby or someone else can add, but if you want to do minor join, you can use data prep, you can use data flow, you can use, for example, multi-table data set if you want to join one table, for example, from AP balances and one from PO, and join them and do just a multi-table data set inside data prep. Now, if you want to do something more complex, if you want to create a common data set that everybody can use as a self-service, integrating some hierarchies at different level, putting like more calculated field and so on and so on, I will say that a subject area is more robust. Now, maybe Gabby, you can also chime in on that one.
No, I think your answer is covered it.
Okay. I've got a little bit though. So on that one, I don't think there's a hard and fast answer that says for one use case it's this way or for one use case it's this way. It becomes a balance. So it's not a question we can answer directly. What's very interesting is that our trusted partner, Vlamis, has just written a 2-part blog series on this very topic. So again, I'll put the links to that blog in, so that should help you decide whether you're going to go centralized governed or whether you want to go self-service with DV, data flows and so forth, or some balance between. But have a read of that blog, it might help answer that question.
Excellent. We have another question from Santiago Carceres, and I think it was at 12:30. Can we have access to that data to make the dashboard? So I think it might be the data that Barry, you have been showing because it was at 12:29, or it might be the data from James Bond also for Jamie. So maybe both Barry and Jamie, you can answer that one. Can we have access to the data that make your dashboards?
Yeah, I'm just thinking what we have. So in each case, I've got an Excel sheet. Essentially, this is all demo stuff, right? So the back end is just some sample data. It's a few million rows of sales data. So if you want that Excel sheet, I'm happy to send it. There's nothing special about that.
And Jamie?
Yes, I got mine off of a public, the James Bond data was off of a public website with data, so I can send that link. I will reply in the answers.
Perfect. I think we have a question from Anuj Veer. Looks like a great feature. It was during the demo of Auto Insight. In which release are we expecting it? That is for Gabby, I think.
It will come early next year.
Okay. Then Benjamin from Banu, we are on OAS. Do we have any templates for waterfall model which we can download and use? And that might be for Barry.
Sorry, I was just typing. What was that, Ben?
Do we have any templates for waterfall data visualization model that they can use?
I'm not sure we have a template for that.
Well, waterfall is a standard visualization that you can use. There are maybe some examples of different use cases of waterfall that we might have on our library, but the visualization is there as a standard built-in visualization in the product.
That it's a good question. I think, Barry, maybe we could think about showing all the data visualization type on oracle.com. And if people want, they could download an example so they know quickly how to start. So we might think about that. Yeah, good idea, Banu, thanks. We have a question from Munish Goswami. How can we set up version management with OAC? So I think that might come later in our roadmap. I think, Gabby, maybe in the future we will have integration with GitHub with RPD, but I'm not sure if we will have version management for DV project.
I would say we'll do the RPD first, and then we'll move into other things.
Perfect. We have a question from Kapil Kapoor. Do we have any demo instance for HCM or ERP application that we can connect to OAC? Jamie, do you want to take that one?
When I see this question, I'm assuming that you're referring to the Oracle HCM and ERP instances or applications. So that would be more of a Fusion Analytics Warehouse connection, which uses OAC. As far as demo instances that you can connect, I do not know the answer to that. I'm not sure, Ben, if you know.
I don't know. I think we could check with HCM and ERP team and see in the future if maybe we can even put some demo instance part of a OAC product. I don't know. We will see and follow up. It's a good question. It will be good for some of you to have access to some demo instance. Question from Prakash. Is there plan to have seamless integration between Classic and DV? Extract click is turned off for many users. That will be for Gabby, I think.
Yeah, we're looking at ways to enable extract for DV content as well.
Yeah,
I don't have a timeline yet, but it is something we're looking into.
Okay. We have a question from Roberto Capancioni. In OCI, can you integrate report into an Apex app? Barry, do you want to take that one?
Yeah, sure. So yes, you can. In fact, Apex and OAC work really well together. We've actually built or in the process of building a small demo where we have an Apex app, which allows like store associates to write back and check stock levels, but has visuals from OAC projects embedded within that. So you can do that quite nicely. I think there's actually another blog. I keep talking about blogs as answers, but Mike Duran, one of our developers, has written a blog directly on that subject too.
Excellent. We have a last question from Ashok Muduli. What is the max size of dataset we can use while using DV in OAS? Do you have any insight, Gabby, on that maybe?
To some extent, it depends on multiple factors, but like how do you create the data set and the size of the machine when it in OAC. There is the basic row size is 2 million rows. But of course, if you are creating a live data set, meaning that we are working live with a database, it can be anything that you have in that database. So the limits only applies for data that you actually cache or bring into OAC, and that's 2 million rows. If you upload a file, I believe it's 256 meg or something like that to upload the file. Okay.
And I saw we had a comment from Andre Tyler. I'm not sure if Andre left already, but Andre is from HSBC in UK. He's one of the top Oracle Analytic leader. He's using, I think, Oracle Analytic on top of 100,000 users. So thank you, Andre. I think he left. We have a question from Soraj Raj. What are the data synchronization refresh options in OAC? Nada, do you want to take that one?
Right. So there are, it depends really on the different ways that you are doing the connection to data. So if you have a live connection to the data source, you can either choose to cache your data or you can choose it to be a live connection. And then from a sort of a dashboard perspective, you have control over the single canvas control, right? So you saw maybe in the healthcare demo that I did, we went through 3 canvases and you have control over each one in terms of how to synchronize your data, as well how to refresh the view of that. So are there various controls over each of the canvases for that?
Perfect. And I think it was our last question. So it's excellent. Thank you so much all for joining today. It has been a long OA Live. I think we are past 15 minutes. Again, you can find the OA Live on YouTube. We will post it on LinkedIn. At the end, tomorrow, you will receive an email with a lot of insight, a lot of link for all the video and everything. So thank you again for using Oracle Analytics and for following us. Have a good day. Bye-bye.